Hello and welcome back to another Minecraft video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to build SmallishBean's aka Joel's starter base from Season 10 of Hermitcraft. So, without further ado, let's get into it. In this chest you can see the materials you are going to need for part 1 of today's build. Now for those of you building this in survival, I have left an exact amount that you will need of all of these items in the description of this video. So take a good look, and once you think you have them all, we can get on with today's build. For today's build, you're going to need an area that is 22 blocks wide by 19 blocks long. And for the floor, what I have done is surrounded the outside of it with tough bricks, and then the next 2 layers with just normal tough. Now this isn't required, but it helps just add a bit of life to the build, so I will continue the rest of the tutorial as if it isn't there, but it does help bring out the shape of the build. Now to begin, we're going to start by coming to the bottom left corner, and we're going to count 4 blocks to the right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 3 blocks up, 1, 2, 3. And if you have done this border, then this will bring you to the bottom left of the area that's been left behind. And we're going to start by making a pillar of 4 blocks of stripped dark oak wood. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to do a row of 5 red terracotta going to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to do another column of stripped dark oak. That is once again 4 blocks tall. Now we're going to build up our red terracotta until it is the exact same height as our pillars, giving us our first of many walls. Now, to build up the left-hand side, we're going to come here and we're going to do another row of terracotta that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 blocks long. And then we do ourselves another column of dark oak. And we once again build up the terracotta until it is the same height. Just like this, all the way along. Now we're going to come back to the front and we're going to take ourselves our dark oak planks and we're going to come 1 to the right of our pillar. And then we're going to go 1 back, and we're going to create a row that is 3 blocks long. So 1, 2, 3. And we're going to build this up until it is 4 blocks tall. So you should see how it has been indented by 1 block. Then, to the right of this, we're going to once again build ourselves a pillar of stripped dark oak log coming forward so that it is in line with our previous one. And then finally, we're just going to dig out a 2 block hole at the bottom of this rectangle for our front doorway. Then, where we see this T-shape, or an upside down T-shape if you're looking at it from this way, we're going to break out these 3 blocks as well as the one in the doorway and replace them with tuff. And this is starting to create the entrance of our build. Now to work on the garage area, we're going to start by taking ourselves our oak logs and we're going to skip 4 blocks to the right of this pillar. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the 5th one, we're going to do another 4 block tall column of dark oak. Then, coming behind the pillars, we're going to do a column of 4 red terracotta behind each of these, as well as another dark oak column like this. And it should look just like this. And then finally, we're going to connect the tops of the back pillars with red terracotta. And then underneath the red terracotta, so where once again we're still in line with these 2 back pillars, we're going to break out the 4 blocks in the ground and we're going to place stripped oak logs facing sideways. So now we have the full entrance like this. And then finally we could break out these 8 grass blocks in front of it and replace it with tuff. There we go. Then for the right hand wall, we're going to come here and we're going to do a row of red terracotta that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks long. And then we're going to do another pillar of dark oak that is 4 blocks tall. And we're once again going to extend our red terracotta up until it is the same height as our dark oak. And then finally, coming to the back, we are simply going to fill in the remaining space with red terracotta. Now, to start work on the second floor of the building, specifically just the walls of the second floor, we're going to come to the side here, which should be the back right of the building, and we're going to build up this column by a further 5 blocks, but this time using stripped oak logs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then, to the right of it, we're going to place 2 oak planks, and then another column of stripped oak logs. And we're just going to fill in the oak logs, or the oak planks even, until they're the same height as our columns. Now, we're going to once again take our stripped dark oak, and we're going to build up a column to the right of this oak column that is now 7 blocks tall. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're going to do the exact same thing in this corner here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we're going to take our calcite and we're going to create a row in between that, if this has been done right, should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks long. And then we're going to build it up until it is the same height as our columns. And that is now our 2 back walls complete. Now, coming around to the left hand side of the building, we're going to start at the corner here, and we're going to place ourselves a block of calcite, an oak log, or a dark oak log even, a block of calcite, 2 dark oak logs, a block of calcite, dark oak log, calcite, and 1 more log. And then we're going to build up each of these until they're all 7 blocks tall. Now, with that done, we're going to take ourselves our stripped spruce log, and to the right of this furthest column, we're going to build another row that is 5 blocks tall. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to skip a block, coming to our corner here, and build another column of the same height. Then, at the top and the bottom of these 2 columns, we're going to connect them up with a barrel that is facing sideways, and it should look like this. Now, coming to the front, we're going to skip ourselves 5 blocks, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, until we're at this column here next to our doorway, and we're going to build this up with another 5 blocks of stripped spruce logs. Then we're going to connect the tops and the bottoms with our barrels again, making sure that they're facing sideways like this. And then we're going to take ourselves our stripped spruce logs and come to the left. We're going to skip a block, place 3 going up, skip a block, place 3 going up. And now it should look just like this. Now, coming to the right of our spruce column here, we're going to take our deep slate bricks and we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 going to the right, until we're just before this column here. And on top of this, we're going to place ourselves 2 stripped spruce logs, like this. Now we're going to once again grab our deep slate bricks, and we're going to bring it back, going to the right, so on the right hand side of our building, by another 5 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're going to once again take our stripped oak logs and build a column here that is 5 blocks tall, like this, and then we're just going to fill in the space in between this column and the first column we placed on the second floor with oak planks. So we just want to fill in this entire area, and that will finish the main walls of the second floor. Now, before anything else, we're going to want to get the floor of the second floor built in. So to do that, we're going to fill in the entire layer that is the same height as our deep slate bricks and our barrels. We're going to fill in all of this with birch planks. So let's do that now. There we go. And now, the only other floor that we have left to complete is that of the first floor. So the way we're going to do this is we're just going to replace all of the grass that we have left over with birch planks again. So let's do that now. And with that now done, we can begin work on some of the more structure of the second floor. So we're going to start by coming to our oak log section here, and where we've got the column that is next to the deep slate bricks, we're going to go to the left by 2 blocks, and on the third one, we're going to build ourselves another row of just 4 oak logs this time. And then we're going to connect up the top 2 blocks with oak planks, making sure to leave this 2x2 gap here where our door is going to go. Now we're going to come to the left of this wall, and coming in one and to the left, we're going to place 2 blocks of calcite going forwards like this. Then we're going to place ourselves a stripped dark oak log that is 6 blocks tall. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it should be in line with all of our other columns in the back. Then we're going to fill in this 2 block row of calcite until it is the same height, like this. And then we're going to bring back only the top 2 rows until they touch the other column. So we just bring back only the 2, as we still want to leave the room down here where our inside is going to be. Now, on the left hand side of this column, we're going to place another 4 calcite. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And it should end up with us just touching the column here. And we're going to build this up until it is the same height as the rest of the build, just as we've done before. And then we're going to once again drag it across, but only the top 2 layers to connect to the other columns. Then we're going to take ourselves our stripped spruce log, and coming to the rightmost one here, next to where our barrels are, we're going to come back and we're going to skip a block. Then we're going to do another column that is only 4 blocks tall, and it should be just in line with the calcite here. And then we're going to place ourselves a barrel at the top that is facing sideways to connect it up. There we go. Now, to construct the roofs of our 2 jutting out bits on both the left and the right, we're going to start by coming to the left one, and we're going to cover this entire U-shape with dark oak slabs, so making sure to cover all of the barrels as well as the stripped spruce. Then, in the gap in the middle, on 1 block up, we're going to fill this in with deep slate bricks, like this. Now, for the right hand wall, we're going to take our deep slate brick stairs. We're going to once again cover the U-shape with these going all the way around, making sure that all of the stairs are facing outwards. Then we're going to take ourselves our oak planks, and on the top block of calcite here, we're going to place 5 in the middle, such that each end is just next to each stair. Then on the front of these oak planks, we're going to place another 2 rows of deep slate brick slabs. And that is our 2 roofs done for the corners of our build. Now, to build the fence of the balcony area, we're going to take ourselves our lecterns, and we're going to place them on top of all of these deep slate bricks. But we're going to make sure that we're on the inside when we place them, so that they are facing towards the building. We're going to do that on every single one. Now, we're going to cover all of these lecterns, plus this pillar in the middle, with spruce trapdoors, but always make sure that we're facing to the left of the building when we place them, so that they're all facing in the same direction. Like this. Now, to build the rim that goes around the outside of the top of the first floor, we're going to start by coming to our barrel section here. And we're going to place ourselves a deep slate stair brick on both the right hand column and the left hand column, as well as on the other side of this middle column here. Then we're going to come to the back of our building, and where we have our oak on the left hand side, we're going to place a deep slate brick on the bottom of both of the pillars. And then we're going to take ourselves our deep slate brick slabs, and we're just going to cover the rest of the rim with slabs on the bottom half of the block. And then it should look just like this. And now we're also going to build the rim that goes around the top of the building. So for the first part, we're going to come to the front of the building where we have our calcite here. And we're going to start by placing a upside down oak stair on the rightmost block here. Then we're going to skip one, place another, skip one, place another. Then we're going to skip 2 this time. And then we're just going to repeat the skipping 1 3 more times. So it should look like this. Now, for the left-hand side of the building, it's much simpler, as we're just going to place an upside-down oak stair on every single column of dark oak and skip the ones that are calcite, like this. Then, for the back, we're going to place 1 on the right, skip, place, skip, place, skip 2, place, skip, place, skip, place. So it should be identical to what we have at the front. And then for the right-hand side of the building, we're going to place 1 facing towards us on the oak plank here. So it's ever so slightly different as it is not facing to the right. And we're going to do that on the other side of this oak plank row as well. And then our final one is just going to go on the corner here at the front. And now we're going to fill in all of the empty spaces with oak slabs, doing this the whole way around until we have this full border of oak, some of it being stairs, some of it being slabs. There we go. Now we're going to take our oak trapdoors, and on the front of every stair we're going to place 1, but we're going to miss the ones that are slabs. So we're just going to do that for every single stair, even the 2 on the left hand side that aren't facing the right direction. But we still want the oak trapdoor to be facing outwards, like this. And now finally, a bit more of a trickier bit, as it can be a bit finicky, is we're going to place a rim of dark oak trapdoors going on top of all of the oak trapdoors around the outside of where our oak planks are. So I'll just show you what we need to do. It's just going to end up being one big square. And this is what it should look like. So we have our full rectangle of dark oak trapdoors. And now for the next step, we're going to build the roof of our house. So, starting at the front of the building, we're going to come to the left-hand side, and we're going to take ourselves a deep slate brick slab and place it in the bottom left corner. Then, coming backwards, we're going to place 1 deep slate tile, then 3 more bricks, then 2 tiles, 3 more bricks, 1 more tile, and 1 more slab. And this is going to be the pattern that persists throughout the entire roof. So now we're going to do 4 more rows of slabs, with each one going to the right and up by half a block. So the way we do that is we're going to place a brick slab to the right and then 1 on top of it, as we want the outer layer to be connected, but the inner layer won't be. So you'll see that as we fill this in, there'll still be the gap underneath, whereas the outer layer has this. Then we're going to repeat this 2 more times, so coming out 1 and up, and we're just going to do this until we've got ourselves 4 layers in total of the slabs. Coming all the way to the end, we repeat this 1 more time. Now that we've got ourselves our 4 rows, for the next 3 we're going to be using stairs instead. So we start by placing a slab on the outer layer. Then we're just going to repeat the exact same thing, but with the stair versions of the block we used before. Coming all the way across, like so, making sure to place our slab underneath. But now, for the next layer, we're going to instead use a stair as the basis. So we place an upside down one like that, and then we just continue on the pattern like so for another 2 layers. Making sure to get our block underneath like this. And here we go. This will be our final row before we reach what will be the very top of our building. And now we should have a roof that curves like this. And now what I want you to do is repeat this exact same thing, but starting from this side instead, so that they meet up in the middle, like so. And with that done, we should now have our full roof that looks exactly like this. Now to finish off the top of it, we're going to come back to the front, and at the top here, starting on the rightmost of the top two stairs, we're going to place ourselves a cherry trapdoor facing inwards. We're going to place it, and then we're going to skip one, place another, skip one, place another, skip two, and then do 3 more until we reach the end like this. And now on the opposite side, we're going to place a trapdoor wherever we didn't place one in the first row. And now, when we flip all of these up, we end up with this snaking shape that goes across the entire top of the building, and I think it looks rather nice. Now, to finish off the inside of the roof so that we don't have this massive gap, we're going to come inside, and on top of our calcite here, we're going to fill in all of the blocks we can with normal diorite, coming along like this, so that when it's complete, if we come back outside, we should no longer be able to see the inside of the building. Making sure to get every single spot, like I didn't do there. Now we're going to come to the middle, and we're going to break out the 2x3 area rectangle in the center, like this, as well as 2 blocks to the left and the right. Now we're going to take ourselves our diorite stairs, and in these 2 block high areas, we're going to place one at the bottom facing normally, and one at the top that is upside down. And we repeat that on the other side. Then, in our 2 block gap at the top, we're going to place 2 stairs that are upside down facing into each other. And to finish it off, we cover the 2 blocks at the bottom with diorite slabs. Now, we're going to come inside, and behind this gap, we're going to place 4 mangrove planks at the bottom here, at the same height as where our slabs are. Then we're going to make it go up by 1 on both corners. And then we're going to place another 2 at the top like this. Then, in this 2 block wide gap we have, we're going to place 2 cherry stairs facing into each other like so. And then finally, on the back, we can cover it with cherry trapdoors that we then flip down. Now we're going to come back outside to the front. And in front, where we have these oak planks that still are empty, we're going to place a sideways facing lever on the rightmost block that we can place one on, and on the leftmost block that we can place one on. Then we're going to flip both of these, like so, and you'll notice that it makes these trapdoors go up, so we're just going to flip those right back down. Then we're going to take our redstone repeaters, and we're going to place 3 of them to the left and to the right of both levers facing inwards. So we place 3 on the right, going inwards, and 3 on the left, going inwards. And then we're going to set the tick length of all of these repeaters to the maximum, which is 4. And I think this is meant to create some, like a thing of string lights going across the roof. And now we're going to repeat everything we just did here, but for the other side. And if you have done it all correctly, it should now look just like this. In this chest, you can see the materials you are going to need for part 2 of today's build. Now, for those of you building this in survival mode, I have left the exact amount that you will need of each of these items in the description of this video. So, let's get into it. We can start work on adding some detail to the building, because we've got a lot of the basic structure down, and now we can really bring it to life. So the first wall we're going to start with is this one here with the dark oak on either side and the red terracotta in the middle. So to begin, we're going to take ourselves our deep slate brick slabs, And where we have these 2 stairs here, we're going to come 1 block forward and half a block down like this. And we're going to extend this out until it is 7 blocks long, so that either side is in line with our 2 stairs. Now we're going to bring it another half a block down, like so, but this time we're going to do a checkered pattern of deep slate bricks and polished deep slate slabs. So we do a brick, then a slab, then a brick, then a polished, so on and so forth. And it should look like this. Now, at the 2 corners of this little balcony area, or more of an overhang area I suppose, we're going to come directly below the bottom left slab, and we're going to place a spruce fence, a lightning rod, and then another spruce fence. And we're going to do that on the other side as well. And there we go. Now we have this overhang area. Then, coming underneath at our red terracotta wall here, we're going to knock out 2 spaces for windows. So what we want to do is we want to miss a block, knock out the middle 2, miss a block, knock out the middle 2. Then we're going to grab ourselves our barrels, and we're going to place one to the bottom left of the left window, and to the bottom right of the right window. And then to the right of this barrel, we're going to place 4 mud brick walls going up like that, and we're going to do the same to the left of this barrel. Then, next to each barrel, on the top half of the red terracotta, we're going to place a spruce slab, and then finally a piece of dirt in the middle, with a spruce trapdoor in front of it flipped down. Then we're going to take ourselves a lilac, and we're going to place one on top of the dirt here, as well as taking a dead bubble coral fan and placing it on the spruce slab to the right. Then we're going to take ourselves our white stained glass panes and place them in our 2 gaps for our 2 windows, like this. Then, on the polished deep slate slab to the left of the right pillar here, we're going to place a lantern. And now we're going to place ourselves 5 spruce signs going along the top here, but specifically, we're going to write a pattern on it. So to start, for the first row, we're going to do dashes. Then, for the second row, we're going to do equal signs. For the third row, we're going to do even more equal signs. And then finally, we finish it off with some more dashes. And then we're going to dye it with red dye. And now we're just going to repeat this 4 more times to the right. And it should now look just like this. Now to finish off this wall, we're going to finally take ourselves our spruce trapdoors. And on the spruce slab here, we're going to make sure we're facing to the left. And we're going to place 2 of them on top of each other like this, so that when we flip them, it looks like this. Then we're going to place another 2 above the right barrel here, so that when we flip them, they're against the wall like that. Now we can begin work on the main entrance of our building. So to start, we want to take our spruce door, and if we come into the doorway and face away and look down, we can place it like this, so that it's indented into the wall. Next, we're going to take ourselves our cherry slabs, and we're going to place 3 of them on the topmost block here on the bottom half. And then we're going to place 3 cherry trapdoors on front of it, like this. Now if we come back underneath, we're going to look straight up, making sure we're facing away from the building, and we're going to place 3 acacia trapdoors on the bottom of the 3 cherry slabs, so that when we flip them open, they flip towards us. Now, to the right of our mud brick pillar, on this block here, we're going to place 2 acacia trapdoors on top of each other like so, skip a block, and then place another 2, so that when we flip them, they form this full shape like so. Now, we're going to once again take our mud brick walls, and we're going to cover the front of this dark oak pillar with them again. But also, we're going to place another slab on the slab that is directly above this pillar. And on this, we're going to place a cherry sign that reads, Joel's Home. Just like that. Now, for our garage, we're going to start by filling in the first 2 rows at the top here that are 4 blocks long with cherry slabs. Like this. Then we're going to come inside the building, and on our dark oak pillars at the back here, we're going to place 3 white stained glass panes like this on both sides. Then, on the red terracotta pillar on the left, we're going to place a lever on the bottom, a lever on the top that is facing downwards, and then we're going to place a chain in between them facing up like this. And then on the right, we're going to place a cauldron on the bottommost red terracotta block, and 2 oak leaves on top of it like this. And that is now the front of the first floor of the building complete. Now we're going to come to the left-hand wall, and we're going to start on the very left. So to begin, coming 1 block in, so ignoring our pillar here, we're going to place ourselves a dark oak trapdoor in the bottom left block here, skip a block, and then place another. Then we're going to place 2 spruce trapdoors above each of these, and then 1 more dark oak at the top. And we're just going to flip all of these open to create this border, where in the middle is where our window is going to go. So we're going to break out these 4 blocks in the middle, and at the top we're going to place a dark oak stair that's upside down, and at the bottom we're going to place one the right way up. And then in the 2 blocks in between, we're going to place 2 cherry trapdoors and flip them. And that is our window. Next, we're going to take ourselves our mangrove stairs, and we're going to skip 2 blocks to the right of these 2 spruce trapdoors. And on the 3rd one, we're going to break out a 2x2 hole like this. So it should be 2 blocks away from our previous window. Then, in this gap, we're going to place mangrove stairs going all the way around like this, so that we're left with this small square hole in the middle. And on the bottom half of the 2 bottom stairs, we're going to place dark oak trapdoors, and we're going to do the same on the top half of the top 2. Then, we're going to take ourselves our stripped cherry log, and we're going to place one facing outwards to the top left of this window, like this. Then we're going to place a grindstone underneath it that is facing to the side like that. Now, to the top right of our window, we're going to place a blast furnace. And now we're going to place 2 lightning rods in between these 2. But to do this properly, we want to place a temporary block on the right, place a lightning rod on the left-hand side of this block, destroy the temporary block, and then place our final rod on the right of this one, so that we end up with the cube part being on the outside, like this. Now, we're going to place a polished tough wall underneath the blast furnace, and a dropper underneath that, and then coming 2 blocks to the right, we're going to place another stripped cherry log, with a lightning rod on the left, like this. Then we're going to take ourselves our lever, and we're going to place it on the block that is up 1 and to the right of our log here, and we're going to place an iron bar above this. And finally, we can place ourselves a lantern on the slab that is to the right of where our iron bar is. And now the final detail is we're going to take ourselves some spruce signs, and we're going to place even more with a similar pattern that we did earlier, but ever so slightly different. So in total, we're going to place them on the bottom row here, and we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. So the pattern is we're going to place it, and we're going to fill every single row with dashes like this. And we're going to repeat that 7 more times, making sure to dye all of them red again. And a quick little tip for those of you building this on bedrock is, for whatever reason, in the Java edition, they appear a lot brighter when they get dyed. So in bedrock, it might be a good idea to use some glow ink sacks to make the signs appear a bit more brighter. So let's repeat this for the rest of the row. And with that done, our wall should now look just like this. Now, for the final wall that we're going to decorate of the first floor, because for whatever reason the right-hand wall has absolutely nothing on it, we're going to come to the back here, and starting from the right, we're going to come to the first row of red terracotta, and on the bottom block, we're going to place a dark oak trapdoor on the top half, then a slab, and then another trapdoor. Then, on the top 3 blocks, we're going to do the same again, but the other way around, so on the bottom half of the blocks. And then we're going to connect up each of the trapdoors with spruce fences. And then we're left with this 2 block gap in the middle that we're going to break out and fill in with white stained glass panes. Then we're going to come to the other side of the wall, we're going to skip the first block, and then we're going to break out a rectangle that is 2 blocks high by 5 blocks long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, on the top half of the 5 bottom blocks here, we're going to place dark oak slabs. On the top row, we're going to place dark oak trapdoors. Then we're going to come inside the window here, and we're going to place 2 cherry trapdoors on the left-hand side whilst we're facing outwards. And we're going to do the same on the other side. And then we're going to simply place dark oak trapdoors on the other side of the 2 cherry trapdoors, so that when we flip them up, they create the walls of our window. Now, coming inside the window again, on both the left and the right, we're going to place even more white stained glass panes. Then on the next row in, on both sides, we're going to place 2 spruce fences. And then finally, in the middle, we're going to place 2 mud brick walls. And now we have a window that looks just like this. Now, coming to our slabs at the bottom, we're going to skip a block, place a lever, skip a block, place a lever. And then we're going to place levers at the top of the walls in the same column that we placed the first 2. And we're going to make sure that these are facing downwards. Now we're going to place lightning rods on the bottom of these levers and lightning rods on the top of the bottom levers. And that creates these 2 pipes going like this. Then we're going to take ourselves a lantern and we're going to place it on the bottom of the slab that is to the right of our rightmost lever here. And then finally we're going to place even more spruce signs on these 4 blocks in between. And the pattern for these are as follows. So we start by doing a row of these squiggly lines, then 2 rows of equal signs, and then another row of squigglies. And then we're just going to dye it red. And we repeat this 3 more times. And with that done, that is now the back of the first floor complete. So now we can begin work on the second story of the building. So to start, we're going to start by coming to the oak jutting out building here. And we're going to place ourselves a dark oak trapdoor on the bottom of all of the stairs, as well as one in the corner. So we bring it coming all the way around like this. And then we're also going to place one directly underneath, so we get this ever so slightly thicker rim around the outside of the building. There we go. And then on the dark oak pillar here, to the right of where the rim starts, we're going to come to the bottom block, and on the second one up, we're going to place a trapdoor, skip one, trapdoor, skip one, trapdoor. Now, on this side of the oak wall, we're going to grab ourselves our polished tough walls, and we're going to place one on top of the 2 deep slate bricks here that we have. Then, in between these 2 walls, we're going to place 2 mangrove fence gates like this. Then, on the left wall, we're going to place a redstone torch, and on the right wall, we're going to place a flower pot. And in between these 2 items, we're going to place 2 spruce fences with 2 red carpets on top of them, like this. Then we're going to come up to the oak trapdoor on the left here, and to the right of it, we're going to place a lantern. Now, in our massive calcite wall here, we're going to come to the left-hand side, we're going to skip the first block, and we're going to dig out a hole that is 3 blocks wide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks long. So we make this so it is a 3 block tall rectangle like so. Now we're going to cover the bottom row with upwards facing stripped dark oak wood logs. Then we're going to do 2 more coming in from the left in a column like this. So we have this 2x1 gap, and we do that on the other side. And in this gap, we're going to place ourselves 2 mangrove trapdoors like this, flipping them up so that they're on the opposite side of the wall. Then, coming another block in, we're going to place a spruce fence on the 2 sides that are facing inwards like this. And then we place 2 trapdoors facing in either direction so that when we flip them up, they connect to the fences like this. Now, we're going to grab ourselves our cherry slabs, and we're going to place 8 of them on the top half of the logs like this, as well as another 8 on the bottom half of the calcite row directly above it. Then we're going to take our cherry trapdoors, and coming inside the window like this, we're going to place 2 on the left-hand side facing outwards, and 2 on the right-hand side facing outwards. And then we come round and place another 2 on the opposite side. So just like we did before with the window, when we flip them up, they end up creating this wall. And now finally we're going to take our lightning rods and we're going to place them in front of the dark oak pillar here. So one on the bottom, one on the top, so they create a thick bit in the middle. We repeat that on the other side. And now finally we're going to place even more spruce signs. So there's going to be a total of 10 of them going across the top row here. And the pattern this time is simply going to be just dashes. But instead of dyeing it red this time, we're going to dye them pink. So we're just going to repeat that 9 more times. And now the back wall should look like this. And that is it fully complete. So now we're going to do the left-hand wall for the top story. But before we begin that, I have just remembered a couple more details that we need to add to the back wall before we can call it complete. The main ones being, on the 2 pillars of dark oak logs on either side, at the bottom here, there needs to be 4 mud brick walls on both sides, as well as a lantern to the top left of this window, like this. And then the only other one is on this rightmost pillar at the top. We're going to repeat what we did on the left here with the dark oak trapdoors, and we're just going to place 3 of them like this, missing a block in between. And we can do that on the right as well to start off the completion of this wall. To carry it on, we're going to come to the second column in, and on the second block down, on the bottom half, we're going to place ourselves a spruce trapdoor with a spruce fence underneath, and then a lantern on the bottom of it, like this. Then, where we have these 2 pillars in the middle, we're going to come to the second block up, break out both of these, and then break out a further 3 above each of them, giving us a 2 wide by 4 tall hole in our wall. Then, at the bottom, we're going to place 2 spruce slabs, and at the top, we're going to place 2 dark oak trapdoors. And now the next part is a bit finicky, but we're going to place dark oak stairs on the front of both of these slabs that are both facing inwards, like this, and it creates this U shape. And now we're going to do the same thing on the trapdoors, except that they're upside down, so that it ends up looking like this. Now we're going to take ourselves our dark oak trapdoors, and we're going to place 2 on top of the leftmost stair facing outwards, so that when we flip them up, they look like this. And then we place 2 spruce trapdoors on the other side, once again giving us these thick walls for our windows. And now we're just going to repeat the exact same thing for the right-hand side of the wall, like this. And that is now our window complete. Now we're going to come to the rightmost dark oak pillar, and we're going to repeat what we did with our dark oak trapdoors. So we place 1, skip, place 1, skip, place 1. And that is now this part of the wall complete. Now for this little spruce and barrel outside area, we're going to start by surrounding the top row with oak fence gates. So coming all the way around, specifically the row that has the barrels on it. We want to do this for every single side. And then we're just going to flip all of these open. And these are going to act as the stands for our oak trapdoors that are also going to go around the entire top area on top of all of our oak fence gates, like this. Now, in the bottom of each of these 3 high holes that we have, we're going to place ourselves spruce planks. The only one where we won't place one is the one that leads outside to the balcony. And then, on the bottom of all of our barrels, we're going to place ourselves a spruce trapdoor like this on every single side. And now it is mostly complete. The only thing left to add, of course, is our signs. So on the left-hand side wall here, we're going to do a pattern that is just filling in the entire sign with squiggly lines. And we're going to repeat this for both these 3 blocks here, as well as these 7 blocks at the front like this. But this time we're going to alternate between red dye and pink dye. So the pattern will be red, pink, red, and then on the front, red, pink, red, pink, red, pink, red. So let's do that now. And with that now done, we can begin work on the balcony area. So we're going to start by coming to the calcite wall here, and we're going to break out a 3 high by 2 wide window that is in the center of this wall. So you come in 1 from the left and 1 up, and then you break this out. Then we're going to fill this window in with red stained glass. And we're going to grab our dark oak stairs and come to the bottom and place 2 directly in front of it like this, upside down so that they create this little table. Then we're going to place a lantern on the leftmost one. And we're going to grab our decorated pot and place it in this gap here to the left. Now for this next trick, we're going to place a flower pot on top of this with a cherry sapling inside to make it look like the big pot contains the cherry sapling. Now we're going to take our campfires and we're going to place 2 above the window like this. And we're going to use a splash water bottle to put them out so that we can't actually see the fire anymore. Then we're going to grab ourselves our cherry trapdoors and we're going to place 3 of them on the right stair here so that they are facing to the right. And then we're going to place another 3 on the back of these to once again do our windows wall that we love so much. Now we're going to come to the right hand side here and we're going to grab ourselves our dark oak trapdoors, and in front of the door here we're going to place 2 on the left facing to the left and 2 on the right facing to the right, so that when we flip them up they create this wall going around the doorway, and then we just cap it up with another 2 at the top there. Now we're going to place another one to the left of the door like this and flip it up so we have this L shape, and then another one here so that we encase this 1x2 area. And in this area we're going to place ourselves 2 blocks of dirt with a fern on the block that is closest to us, and on the block at the back we're going to place an azalea and a moss block on top of it like this. And in our doorway here we're going to place 2 mangrove doors. Now we're going to grab ourselves our polished deep slate wall and we're going to build a pillar of walls in this bottom right block here that alternates between polished deep slate and polished tough. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And on top of this we're going to place a dark oak fence, an iron bar, a lightning rod, and then a redstone torch. And this creates the little antenna for his house. And now finally, to finish off this part of the build, as always, we're going to be placing some more spruce signs. So there's going to be 3 in the center of the pillar here on both the left hand side and the right hand side of it, totaling up to 6 signs. So the pattern for this one is going to be 4 up arrows, or 5 up arrows even, in the center of it. And we're going to repeat this for every single row, making sure to get the right symbol, as I am currently failing to do. And we're going to repeat these 6 more times, dyeing all of them with pink dye. And with that done, it should now look like this. And now give yourselves a massive pat on the back, because that is finally the outside of our house fully complete. So now we can finally begin work on the interior of the building. In this chest you can see the materials that you are going to need for part 3 of today's build. Now, for those of you building this in survival mode, I have left the exact amount that you will need of each of these items in the description of today's video. So take a good look, and once you think you have them all, we can get on with today's build. So, to begin, we're going to start by getting the structure of the inside built up, so this being all the walls and the staircase going to the second floor. So we're going to start by coming to our front door here, and to the right of it, we're going to start with a pillar of stripped oak logs that goes all the way up to the ceiling, which should be 4 blocks tall. Then we're going to do a pillar of normal oak logs. Then on the ceiling, we're going to place 2 oak slabs to the right. And then we're going to repeat 4 more columns, alternating between stripped and not stripped. So it should end up going like this. And we build all of these up to the ceiling, like so. There we are. Now, coming behind it, we're going to keep it going to the left until it ends up being 2 blocks away from the wall. So it should go stripped, oak, and then we build these up as well. Next, we're going to come back to where our slabs are in the ceiling, and we're going to extend them to the right until they hit the red terracotta wall, like this. And now, coming behind them, we're going to skip the first 3 blocks. So 1, 2, 3. And on the 4th one, we're going to place another oak slab that's then going to extend backwards until it hits the back wall. Now, to the left and the right of this oak slab, we're going to skip 1 block and place a chiselled bookshelf with the bookshelf part facing towards us. And we do that on both sides. Then, on the left-hand side of the right bookshelf, we're going to place an upside-down stair facing into the slab, and we do the opposite on the other side. And now, on the left-hand side and the right-hand side, so being the outside of both bookshelves, we place a trapdoor and flip it down. Now, coming back to our entranceway on the left here, we're going to place another 2 oak slabs, an entire block below these 2, so that it ends up leaving this half a block space. Now, coming into our corner here, we're going to extend out another row of 2 oak slabs all the way to the left. So we do 1 row directly in front of it, and another row directly in front of it. Now, for our stairs, we're going to start by coming to this wall here, and to the right of it, we're going to place 2 birch stairs, and then we're just going to extend this upwards until it hits the ceiling. Now, we're going to break out the 2 blocks above it, like so, all the way up until the end, and then another 2 so we can place another 2 birch stairs. Now at this top stair here, we're going to break out the row to the left of it, coming all the way back and then down, so we end up breaking out an L shape. And now we're just going to keep the log pattern going upwards, so we place an oak, then a stripped, then an oak, then a stripped, and then an oak. Now for these 3 blocks here, we're just going to place a temporary 2 blocks underneath it, and then we're just going to continue on the pattern. So we place a stripped, then an oak, then a stripped, and we destroy our 2 temporary blocks. And now we can start work on some of the decoration for the first floor. We're going to start by creating the little table that goes in the center here. So we come to the front entrance, and on the 2 left blocks, we're going to place 2 pink carpets, and then another 2 behind them on both sides, giving us this 3x2 carpet on the floor. Now, if we come to the top left of the carpet, we're going to go up and to the left and place a mangrove slab, skip a block and place another. Then we're going to come to the second row of stripped oak logs, and we're going to place an upside down spruce stair coming off of it, with a loom to the right. Now, we're going to place ourselves a temporary block to the right here, and then another spruce stair facing into the loom and destroy the temporary block. Now, we're going to grab ourselves our oak trapdoors, and if we come up 1 and to the right of the mangrove slab, we're going to place 3 facing to the left, on top of each other like this, and then flip them all up. Then we're going to replace the oak slab directly above our trapdoors, with an oak stair that is facing to the right, and then 3 oak slabs coming off the back of it on the bottom half of the block. Now to create the back wall, we're going to take our birch trapdoors and our bamboo trapdoors, and we're going to start placing them in a crisscross pattern. So we place birch, then bamboo, then birch, and then we alternate it, so then bamboo, birch, bamboo. And we're going to repeat this for the next 2 layers, like this, coming all the way up to the top. And then when we flip them all, making sure to actually place the right one at the end here. And when we flip them all, we end up with this lovely looking wall for the back of our eating area. Now we're going to take ourselves a brewing stand, and we're going to place it on the left upside down stair here. We're going to destroy the bottom 2 blocks of this oak log pillar here, and place 2 upwards facing barrels like this. Then we're going to take our lantern and place it on the rightmost oak slab here, and our armour stand is going to go to the left of our front door facing diagonally like this. Now the next 2 decorations are going to be these hanging pots that hang from the ceiling. Now if you're in Java, then you can do this absolutely fine, but unfortunately in Bedrock Edition you can't have flower pots floating mid-air. So the way I was able to do this in my own creative world was by using barrier blocks. But of course, if you're in survival, then this is not possible. So if you're on bedrock, you might just have to leave out these two decorations. So we're going to come to the leftmost block here, and on the ceiling, on this birch plank here, we're going to place a chain, and then a flower pot underneath it, and a piece of bamboo in the flower pot. And then the other one is going to be back towards our front entrance. On the second birch plank in, another chain, another flower pot, and then an acacia sapling inside. Now, to finish off the right hand side of the first floor, we're going to start by coming to the back window here, and in front of our mud brick walls, on the bottom block here, we're going to place a piece of dirt with spruce trapdoors surrounding it, so that we end up creating this plant pot. Now we're going to place a dead bush on top of it, and cherry leaves on top, to make it look like some branches of a tree. And now on this right wall here, we're going to place ourselves a painting. So we're looking for the 4x2 one of two people fighting. So we're going to place some temporary blocks, 2 here, 4 at the bottom, and 4 at the top. And if we place the painting in this block here, and this is the one we're looking for. We got quite lucky getting that on our first try. There we go. And now we can begin work on the kitchen of the house. To start, we're going to end up placing a whole lot of chests. So if we come to the left here, where we've got these oak slabs in the ceiling, we're going to want to place 4 rows of double chests that are 3 blocks high. So let's do that now. Placing them like this, making sure that if you're crouching to place it on the side so that they actually connect up into double chests. Like this. Now, we're going to come to the right here, where we can see these dark oak planks, and in the ceiling, we're going to break these 2x2 area, and we're going to fill it in with birch slabs. And this is so that we can still access the chests that will be at the top of this area. Speaking of, we're going to do 2 rows of chests that are 4 blocks high, making sure that they are all double, like this. Bringing them all the way across. Now we're going to take our barrels, and where we have these 2 empty blocks here, we're going to place 4 barrels going up to the ceiling that are facing upwards. Now, coming to our windows here, in the middle, we're just going to place 4 mangrove fences going up to the ceiling like this. Now, coming to the right of this, we're going to place 3 more double chests going up the wall like this, with 2 oak slabs directly above them. Then to the right, we're going to do another pillar of barrels, looking just like this, with a blast furnace to the bottom right of them. And then we do 3 polished tough walls above it like this, to create the effect of a chimney going upwards. Now to place our lantern, we're going to come back to these 2 stacks of barrels here, and we're going to go up to the left, up and to the left, and place our lantern. Then we're going to place 4 cherry trapdoors around it like this, with all of them facing inwards, so that when we flip them all, they end up surrounding the lantern like this. Now, we're going to take ourselves some oak stairs, and underneath our mangrove window here, we're going to place 2 in front of it, facing into each other to once again create a table. On the left stair, we're going to place a flower pot with a cherry sapling inside. Then, coming to the right of the window, skipping a block, here we're going to have that 1x2 painting of that man in a black cloak. So we're going to place some temporary blocks, and then we're going to try and get it. There we go. And you can just repeat that until you get a painting that you like, or this one. Now coming to the corner here, we're going to place a smithing table with a stone cutter on top of it, a crafting table to the right, and an anvil here. Then, underneath the stairs, on the 3rd stair up, we're going to place 2 barrels like this, as well as 2 barrels in the corner of the room, like this. Then we're going to take ourselves our smokers and our blast furnaces, and we're going to place 4 of them in an alternating pattern, so that they look like this. And now finally, we're going to place a lantern on the block in front of our 2 barrels here, to the left of this oak wood pillar. And that is now the decoration for the first floor complete, so now we can begin work on the second floor. So to start, we're going to prioritize getting a bit of the structure built in, as well as the roof of the second floor. So to start, we're going to come over to this pillar here, which is to the right of this red window. And above it, we'll see this row of calcite that is 6 blocks long. And we're just going to simply break all of this out, like that. Now, in the corner here, we're going to take our stripped dark oak, and we're going to build a pillar that is 5 blocks tall. Now, coming across to the right, we're going to take our stripped acacia, and we're going to build another row like this, and it should be 5 blocks long. Now, we're going to take our dark oak again, and we're going to bring back this pillar all the way until we hit the back wall of the building. So we just want to bring it along, like so. There we are. Now, we're going to grab ourselves our acacia slabs, and we're going to place a row on the top half of these acacia logs. And now this is where we're going to start alternating. So for the next row, we want to do stripped oak logs, but specifically it needs to be 1 block higher than where the slabs are. So when we fill it in like this, we'll see that the slabs are at the lowest point and it starts to create this shape going upwards. But now we want to switch back to acacia slabs at the same height as the previous ones. So we start to have this alternating pattern that almost looks like some logs going across the ceiling. And we just want to repeat this all the way to the end. Here we go. And it should look just like this. Coming to the left here, we're going to take ourselves our acacia slabs, and we're going to place a few rows at the top of our oak plank wall. So the amount we want to place is 1, 2, 3. But then we're going to keep going, except it's going to be 1 block longer now. And then finally we're going to do one more row that should go all the way to the end until it's just at the left of our window here. Now, on top of these slabs, we want to do another row of acacia logs, facing sideways like this. And that gives us a nice capping off so we're not seeing any of the roof blocks. And now we just simply want to continue our pattern from before. So where we have our acacia slabs, we're going to keep them going like this. And where we have our stripped oak logs, we can keep it going like this. And we just want to repeat this for every single row. Let's do that quickly. And once we have this done, that will be the roof fully finished, and we can begin work on some of the other structural elements like the big fence going through the room. So speaking of, we're going to come to our staircase here, and where we have all of these oak logs, we're going to place mud brick walls on top of all of them until it comes around like this. Now, coming to the end one, we're going to count back 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And on this row, to the right of the mud brick, we're going to place ourselves a stack of dark oak fences that is 4 blocks tall so that it touches the ceiling like this. Then we want to bring it to the left, like so, which should be another 3 fences. And then, coming to the right, we're going to skip 2 blocks, and then build 2 more stacks of fences that are 4 blocks tall. And it should be touching the right-hand wall here. And now, we're going to take ourselves our dark oak trapdoors, and we're going to place a stack on the right-hand side that is 4 blocks tall, so that when we flip it open, it's touching the fence on the right. And we're going to repeat the same on the left, making sure that it's facing towards the fence. And we flip it up, and now we have this entranceway. And now finally, to finish this part off, we're going to take a lantern and place it on the fence that is to the left of the stack. Now, to work on the bedroom itself, we're going to come back to the front staircase here, and we're going to grab ourselves our red carpets, and on the 2 right blocks of oak logs, we're going to skip a block, and then we're going to make ourselves a carpet that is 2 blocks wide by 3 blocks long. Now, if we come to the top right of the carpet, and we go to the right, and we go up by 1, and we're going to place a barrel here, and then we're going to turn around and place a dark oak trapdoor to the left of it, and flip it up. Then we're going to place ourselves a red bed in front of it, with a dark oak sign on the front. And then finally, on top of the barrel, we're going to take a flower pot and we're going to put a fern in it. Now, coming back to the staircase here, in the 2 blocks that are at the top, we're going to make ourselves another little table. So it should look like this. And we're going to place a 2x2 painting above it. And the one that we're looking for is the one of the skull. There we go. That is the painting we're looking for. And the other one we're going to place is coming to the top of the bed here. We're going to place 2 blocks next to the window so that we can force ourselves to get a 2x2 painting. And the one we're looking for here is the one of the candle. There we go. That is the one that we need. Now, coming behind our bed area here, we're going to make ourselves the wall that goes here. So to start, we're going to come to the dark oak pillar here. To the right of it, we're going to place a birch trapdoor facing outwards. We're going to skip 2 blocks and then place another 2. And we're going to repeat the same on top of this, but with bamboo. Now, for the next layer, we're going to want it to be all the way across. So we just have to carefully place it so that it's facing the same direction. What you might have to do is just build up some temporary blocks like this and place them on that so that you can make sure that the handle of the birch door is closest to you. And then we cover it with 1 more layer of bamboo. So now that when we flip all these up, we're left with this really pretty looking wall that has a 2x2 door in it. And in the other side of this, in the 2 corners next to the wall, we're going to place ourselves some dark oak fences and then 2 cherry leaves on top of both of these. And that just gives us these nice little trees. Now, coming back this way, and we're going to go to the left hand side of the room, and we're going to place a polished diorite in this corner here next to the stripped oak. Then to the right of it, we're going to place ourselves 4 polished diorite stairs, like this, and then we're going to bring them back by 2 blocks. And this is where the little pool is going to go. So we just want to fill this up with water, like that. And then finally, we're going to place ourselves a decorated pot on top of the polished diorite here. And that is the little pool done, as well as the bedroom. And now we can work on the rest of the decoration for this room. So to start, we're going to end up placing 2 more of the hanging baskets in the corner here. So for the first one, we're going to want to break out this slab at the end here, at the end of this row. And we're going to place ourselves a chain, a plant pot underneath it, and then an azalea inside of it like so. And it ends up creating a really nice looking little tree. And for the other, we're going to come to the first row of oak stripped logs here. And on the rightmost block, we place another with a flower pot underneath and an oak sapling inside of it like this. Now, turning around, we're going to come to the back of our mud brick wall fence here. And at the back of the left block, we're going to place a dark oak fence and then 4 bookshelves behind it. 5 even. And then on top of this, we're going to place a chiseled bookshelf on the frontmost bookshelf, and then 4 more bookshelves behind it, as well as a cherry leaf on top of the dark oak fence. Then, to the right of these bookshelves, we're going to place 3 chiseled bookshelves like this, and then a upwards facing barrel with a grindstone on top of it. Now coming to the corner here, we're going to do 3 more bookshelves going to the right towards the door, and then do another layer so that it's 2 blocks tall. Then if we start here, we're going to count in 1, place a lantern, and then on the next block, place a chiseled bookshelf. And now finally, in the middle here, we're going to place ourselves an enchanting table. And with that now done, that is all of the interior of our house completed. And now, if you're happy with the way it is, then you're more than welcome to leave the building here. But for the keen-eyed viewers of yours, you may have noticed that I haven't included any of the banners that you can see on his base. And that's because I thought I'd leave it to the end, because it is a bit of a process trying to make them all and then place them everywhere. But if you're really looking for that authenticity, and I must say it really does bring the build out, then this next section is just for you. I'm going to show you how to make all the banners, and then I'm going to show you where to put them on the build. So let's get into it. So in total, we are going to be making 9 banners, that are all unique to each other. And the materials we are going to need are 2 plain pink banners, 4 plain white banners, 3 plain red banners, and then dies. We're going to need pink dye, red dye, white dye, and then finally we'll need the field masoned banner pattern. Now to begin, we're going to start with a pink banner. We're going to put in our field mason banner pattern, and we're going to use white dye. There we go. Then we're going to put it back in, and we're going to grab ourselves our pink dye, and we're going to start by using the border, which is the pink bordeaux. We're going to put it back in, and we're going to use the pink fess as our next pattern, and then finally the pink paley as our third. And that is our first banner done. Now for the next one, we're going to have our pink banner as the base again, white dye, field mason pattern, take that. Then we're going to put in ourselves our pink dye, use the pink bordeaux. We're going to use, this time, the pink per fess inverted, which is the one that covers the bottom half. And then finally we use the striped one again. Now we're going to take ourselves our white banner. Using pink dye, we're going to use the field mason. Then we're going to put in ourselves some white dye. And we're going to use the border one again. Then we're going to use the one that covers the top half of the screen, which is this one. And then finally we do our stripes again. We use a white banner with the red mason put on this time. Then we're going to put white dye into it, use our border. Then we're going to do the bottom half one. And then finally our 3 stripes. Next we use another white banner with a red mason put onto it. Then we cover the top half, as well as using the border one. And then finally we put in our stripes. And then finally we're going to do one that is both the top half and the bottom half. So we put in our red dye mason. We use our white dye to do the border. And then we're simply just going to do the one that is just a stripe through the middle. And then our stripes. Now, for the next 2, we're going to use our red banner, but this time we're going to use white dye for the field mason. Then, taking our red dye again, this one we're going to do the border, we're going to do the stripes, and then we're going to do the line through the middle. Now we once again take a red banner, white dye, field mason, and for this one we only want the top half to be visible. So we do ourselves the big bottom half of red, we do a border, and then we do our 3 stripes. And now for the final one, it is probably the most complicated of the lot. So we start by taking a red banner, we put in our white dye, and we're going to do the one that is a X shape. Then we're going to put in our red dye, and we're going to choose the red bordeaux, which is our border one. Then we're going to select the one that covers the top half, like this. And then finally we're going to take our white dye and we're going to select the one that is just the circle in the middle. And then we take our red dye and choose the one that is like the 3 teeth at the bottom. And those are our 9 banners. Now, if any of that was difficult to follow, I will quickly hover over all 9 banners so that you can see the patterns that went into it, if you prefer to do it that way. Because the loom is quite a useful tool for this, so hopefully it wouldn't be too difficult. So now that we've got all the banners, we can begin placing them on the build. So, starting at the front of the building, we're going to come to the top right here, and where we have our upside down oak stairs, on the rightmost one here, we're going to place the white banner pattern that has the red in just the top of it. Then we're going to skip the one with the trapdoor, and on this slab here, we're going to place the pink banner that has the white on both the top and the bottom. Then, coming round the corner, back to where we have these more trapdoors, on the right slab here, we're going to place the white banner that has the pink on the bottom half. Then, we're going to come to the garage, and where we have these pink cherry slabs at the top, we're going to place a red banner with the white at the top, a red banner with white at the top and the bottom, a white banner with red at the top, and a white banner with red at the bottom, like this. Now, coming to our spruce jutting out section here with all the barrels, on each of these 4 pillars we're going to place one. So on the left pillar, we're going to place a red banner with the double white. On the second pillar, a red banner with the white at the top. On the third, we're going to place this strange kind of ribbon looking shape. And finally, we're going to place a white banner with red at the top and the bottom, like this. Next, we're going to come to the left-hand wall, and we're going to place 2 in this 2x2 area where we have our pink cherry log and the lightning rod. So for the left one, we're going to place ourselves a white banner with the red at the top, and then the ribbon one to the right of it. Coming to the back of our building, we're going to skip the slab on the corner. On this one here, so the second one in, we're going to place ourselves our white banner with pink at the bottom. Then we're going to skip one, and then we're going to place our pink one with white at the top and the bottom. And then we skip these 2 here, and on this one, which is the one to the right of the lantern, we place our pink one with white at the top. Next, coming down to where our lantern is on the first floor, we're going to place a banner underneath it, and this will be the red one with white at the top. And then to the left of this lever here, we're going to place the white one with red at the bottom. And now we have 2 more to place if we come inside. So where we have this checkered wall here, in the top left, we're going to place a red one with white at the top and the bottom. And down here, so if we come 3 across, and in the middle, we're going to place a white one with red at the top. And with that now done, that is all of our banners placed. And with that comes the end of today's video. This has been my biggest project yet, which isn't surprising since it took me 3 parts to cover. So, I really hope you all enjoyed, and please leave a comment what you'd like to see me build next. This video itself was a suggestion by a viewer, and I think it turned out really well. But with that all said, I will see you next time. Goodbye!